Okay, welcome everyone. So many people are trickling in here. Welcome everyone. Bonjour à tous et à toutes. My name is Emily from the Career Advising and Transition Services Office at the McGill School of Continuing Studies. I've been seeing so many familiar faces today, and it's such a pleasure seeing that we're creating this amazing community through Power Skills. Thank you for being here. This is already the third edition of Power Skills. This year's theme is Lives Transformed, our post-pandemic era. It's a pleasure to be here with my superstar colleagues. We have here Nayo, if you want to say hi.
Hello, everyone. Pleasure to be here with you in the chat.
And Diana.
Buenas tardes. Hola. Hi, everyone. Welcome.
And I'd like to recognize that we at CATS acknowledge that our work in Montreal takes place on the unceded Indigenous lands, a part of the Mohawk Nation. So I'd like to just play a very short clip for you now. So this land is known as a gathering place for many First Nations, and here at Power Skills, we're committed to use this summit as a place of gathering, connection, reconnection for many, to empower all voices and perspectives, as well as by providing free and accessible learning opportunities. Today, I am so thrilled to introduce you to one of our extraordinary keynote speakers, Kaitlyn Jiang, who has an incredible list of specialties within the recruitment and career growth world. There's so much to share about Kaitlyn. I'll tell you a little bit about her, and she's going to be telling us, diving deeper and sharing a lot more about her career journey with us. So Kaitlyn is known as one of the only bilingual Asian executive career coach in Canada and the US. And she has been consulting for many top Fortune 500 companies. She is a super passionate and dedicated senior and executive career coach, helping professionals reach their full potential. She has over 15 years of multinational, large-scale team management and corporate coaching experiences with several Fortune 500 companies and prestigious organizations across so many different industries. She's involved in many different projects. She is clearly passionate about her work, as we're going to be learning more about her. Her passion for coaching and individuals and teams pairs with her love for providing high quality adult education and public services. She's been recently invited on CBC with other top experts in the career coaching field as the keynote and subject matter expert for a national interview on career growth and job searching. She's got a long list of degrees and certificates, one being she's a graduate from the Executive Program of Strategic Leadership and Management from Harvard University and Impact Coaching for Executives from Stanford University. She's published over 5 scholarly research papers on corporate communications. She was honored as the national top 3 finalists for the Ketchum Award in Excellence in Marketing Communication Research. The list goes on. Kaitlyn really enjoys just exploring different cultures and connecting with people all over the world. She really believes that that's the difference indeed, to make a difference in our world today. And she really is true to that. She's the kind of person where when thinking about, who is the right person to talk about branding yourself, I mean, Kaitlyn is such a perfect example of that. We have connected online. I've learned about her through her activity online and all of the amazing work that she does, and then met her on Zoom in our new real life, the reality, and she's exactly like that. She's kind, she's caring, she's super passionate, very collaborative, caring, and just, we could not be more thrilled to have her today and to tell us about personal branding and professional growth and what that looks like today. So Kaitlyn, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Emily. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. And Emily, you are making me blush. Thank you so much for the detailed introduction and everything. I'm very excited to be here. So Emily has talked about a lot about me. So I enjoy, my corporate experience in the past with big companies, startup, and also public government sectors, and also top university in different countries. I do have many years experience in corporate coaching, employee training, and also career coaching in different countries as well. So hopefully, I won't repeat everything Emily just mentioned, but I do want to share my expertise, my experience, especially regarding the online presence and LinkedIn strategies, to talk about our job searching and how to really enhance, develop our career in the long-term goal. So and then also we really want this session to be very interactive. So actually, I'll just show you, as you can see, probably, I only have a very light version of deck. So I don't want to be, like professor teaching you guys like one way, like have to do this and that. I really want to touch all those key points, but then we encourage discussion questions. So any question you have, regarding online presence, LinkedIn strategies, or maybe anything, regarding your job searching, career success, if you want to ask, feel free to put in the chat box and we can definitely answer in the real time. So I want to respond to the real situation, right? Using the example over here, instead of just talking about theory, hypothetically, you should do this and that. So feel free to, just cut me off, let me know, I need a question, I need to answer, I need an answer for that. So Emily, Nayo, and Deanna definitely will help facilitate on this.
Absolutely. So, Kaitlyn, can we maybe just start off with learning a little bit about your journey, your career journey to doing the amazing work that you're doing today?
Oh yeah, sure. Love to share. So I remember when I first started after I graduating with my master's degree in communications in the US, and then I actually got a great opportunity relocating to overseas to Asia Pacific in Hong Kong, managing a global team over there, working on the communication and marketing stuff, corporate marketing. Then I realized, there are lots of things going on. Even though that was many years ago, people are using the social media, they're talking about social media promotion, they're talking about branding already. Although at the time, maybe we were really focusing on the corporate, right? The corporate image. And then I realized, because I was involved in lots of leadership development program with my company at the time. It was a global company with a team across different countries. Then I realized actually that was a very great way to really kind of mix, the theories regarding the coaching, the online presence, right? At that time, LinkedIn was not popular actually. So talking about, how you manage your brand as a professional and also as a corporate. So then I move on to actually a training and project management position as a senior manager for a leading pharmaceutical company in the US. So I was in charge of coaching and training different team members in Europe, in Asia, and the US as well. So we really talk about a lot regarding internal mobility, internal career growth, and how to really manage, the talents in an effective way, and also coach our employees how to really improve your online presence and improve, internal presence as well. And at the time, LinkedIn became popular And then I started using LinkedIn to really create content, reach out to people, even started hiring, recruiting. So kind of use the LinkedIn as a tool to reach out to people to really see who might be the best fit for another role, internally. And then I moved back to Canada. So I know I've been in different countries, so it's kind of a little bit diversity over there, lots of diverse backgrounds over there. Then when I came to Canada, I joined the big five bank over here. Also, because Canada, we have really diverse culture. I manage the team of people from different countries. So really talking about career growth, career development. So yeah, so lots of coaching, employee training, and now I'm very fortunate to be certified as a certified senior coach and also global program consultant with the top HR firm over here. So really enjoy the coaching with individuals, with organizations. That's kind of the career path, from the very beginning all the way till now. And I know it's like almost 20 years, more than 15 years, 20 years. So hopefully, all those diverse background experience can definitely bring some highlights over here, sharing some insights over here as well. And I'll definitely talk about, especially the online presence and LinkedIn strategies. The reason why is lots of things have been changing, especially after COVID. So as you can see, right, we have more remote jobs on the market, and we have more hiring manager companies that are actually searching talents remotely. Even recruiters, headhunters, they are using the online tool to reach out to people, having the conversation virtually, not really meeting in person. So lots of things are going on there, lots of change. And that's the reason why I think it will be very important for us to understand a little bit, one thing or two, how to really enhance that to grow your career. Yeah.
Thank you. Thanks so much for sharing that. So many questions that I want to ask you. I'm just going to dive right into the value of online presence, which is so many of us don't really, some people really, have understood how to market themselves, but many of us are still figuring that part out. Why is online presence more important than ever these days, especially in this post-pandemic or whatever we want to call it, time that we're living in?
Yeah, that's a good question. And before going there, let me do maybe a quick exercise with everyone. So over here, as you can see, there's a quick survey, has this different kind of faces over there. So if for one, for example, it's like, minimum level, feel like I'm not quite sure about my online presence, my brand, maybe I don't even use LinkedIn, at all. And to 5, you feel like I'm quite confident, right? I have a strong brand. I know who I am professionally, and people know that too. And I have a strong LinkedIn profile, very active, even opportunities, people reach out to me all the time. So between 1 and 5, what do you think? Feel free to drop number in the chat box. We're willing to, see how people are responding to this. Any idea? Because my thinking is hopefully after today's discussion session, maybe the number, no matter where, hopefully we can go beyond 5, right? Maybe 5+. That'll be ideal. Yeah. So like for me, I will say 5 for myself because everyone, we're growing. So like for me, I feel like maybe 4-ish, between 4 and 5. But I think there's definitely the room. We're growing. And also for online presence, it's ongoing project. So yeah, so feel free to drop number over there, and it's confidential. Don't worry, just share with us.
I don't know if you see the chat now. People are sharing all sorts of numbers, like 2, 3, 3, 4-ish, 2, 3. Yeah, cool. So a variety. And I would say my perspective of your online presence is more of like a 6. You're so.
Thank you.
I was saying 10.
Yeah. We are growing every day because, even, for example, LinkedIn, this platform, as I mentioned, like many years ago, when I first started using that, the features are very limited. And now actually they're launching and doing lots of innovation, even I would say very constantly. So I'll show you some new features as well. I've been doing, webinars regarding LinkedIn many times. Every time I often see that they have something new. So I think that's the same thing, right? If for the company, for the product, they need to evolve constantly. For us, same thing here. So back to your question, talking about why online presence is so important. We'll talk about those things. For example, the professional presence, right? Why does it matter? And why it's like so important, especially in the post-pandemic age. And then we'll talk about, the channels, brand message, and job searching tips, and networking, subject matter expert. So any question regarding that, feel free to ask us during the session. If you have any additional question, feel free to drop, as well. So back to this question, I want to show you some data actually. This is actually from the most updated LinkedIn statistics. If you want, you can go to this website, linkedin.com, about us statistics. So this is only for LinkedIn, this platform, if we're talking about online channel, because there are so many different social media channels, right? Twitter, YouTube. Some people say, if I want to manage my online presence, like those Fortune 500 companies, I probably need to hire a person to do that for me, right? Because there are so many channels and we only have this limited time. But I will say, if for our professional growth, for example, either job searching or career growth, then if you have very limited time, then LinkedIn is definitely the platform you want to really spend some time compared to other social media channels. The reason why is different channels, they have different purpose. And for LinkedIn, it's like mostly for professional networking, professional growth. So as you can see over here, they are growing, and this number, they're still growing. So for now, this mostly the most updated one, the previous quarter number over there. So as you can see, they have this 756 million members in 200 countries around the world and regions as well. And over here in Canada, if you focus on Canada, they have more than 18 million members already, which is almost like 50% of the population over here were using LinkedIn. Some people are more active, some people maybe are less active, but anyhow, like maybe 50% of people were using that. And then for the age, they have the data as well. It's mostly between like 20 to 40, 50, can't remember exact number, but mostly the age is really focusing, really the professionals, during this kind of golden age of working. Now let's over here, a few kind of numbers over here. This is right now the world's top 1 social media site for professionals. And there are like 50 millions, more than that, the open jobs on LinkedIn jobs. And then they have the number. Every minute, on average, 3 people hired on LinkedIn. And over here, I want to really focus on this one. The 95%, let me see if I can put annotate over here. Here, this part. 95%, more than that, recruiters, they are actually actively searching candidates, but only maybe 1/3 of job seekers are active with strong profiles. And not to say, there are more than 60 million senior level influencers and decision makers active over there. And then most Fortune 500 companies, including public sectors, for example, government, nonprofits, university, they have active accounts and engaged professionals around the world. So especially thinking about this, if the hiring end, right, if those decision makers, they're so active on LinkedIn, but only maybe 1/3 of the user, the registered user, are active on LinkedIn, which means this is so different from our, the old-fashioned kind of the job searching or career growth channel. For example, for job searching, maybe traditional way, we submit, on application, right, and then cross a finger, my resume will be selected, right, by the system, by HR, they will contact me, and then just cross finger, hopefully they'll contact me. But now on LinkedIn, it provides a very interactive way. So you will be able to reach out to them proactively, and also they can reach out to you if you have a strong profile. So by saying that, that's the reason why online presence does matter so much. And also with a strong LinkedIn profile, you'll be able to have higher visibility. And this is not just for job searching. It's definitely involving your long-term career growth. So sometimes people ask me, if I've been active on LinkedIn, have a strong profile, maybe landed a job, so can I stop there? I would say don't stop there. Take it as a starting point. The reason is LinkedIn is definitely providing the platform for you, not just if we go back to our previous slide. You want to think about not just job searching. You also want to think about it's a great way for you to network with the professionals, with experts in your field. And you want to have a strong professional kind of brand, right? Within your professional circle, become the known expert. So in the future, the opportunities potentially, not just job, or sometimes maybe more opportunities regarding the professional development, they will come to you, not you are searching them. So this will be definitely something you want to focus on. Short term, maybe for just the job searching, but mid long term, you want to be the expert in the field. So you have the brand that people, when they think about, I want to find someone in marketing, they think about you. When they feel like, oh, you know what, this person often shares some information there, maybe regarding IT, accounting, then if some projects, some opportunities come up, they want to reach out to you. So, and this, I will say, probably will become a new normal after post-pandemic. The reason why lots of things going on virtual, right, remote. So lots of opportunities will become remote, lots of connection, networking will be virtual. So online presence is definitely so important more than ever. And hopefully this long answer provides some insights over there, but we can definitely talk about some detail, strategic tips and some tactics we can share, through the screen sharing. I can show you how to do that.
Thank you. Thanks so much, Kaitlyn. That's been such a great response, really getting an understanding of really the value of showcasing your brand using LinkedIn. I want to focus a little bit on the type of the profile of community of professionals that we have at the School of Continuing Studies. And I'm sure many people tuning in today can relate to this. We have, our community professionals are really multi-talented, have had various careers, are in the middle of transitioning roles or careers, and are realigning with are figuring out what their new career goals are, or have a clear sense of these new career goals and are looking to rebrand themselves. Mm-hmm. So can you, would it be possible to maybe share specific ways that you can showcase those transferable skills, showcasing your skills and overall value by really optimizing your LinkedIn profile, but also your network, if you can speak to that as well?
Yeah, so regarding that, because I know many people, I know like many years ago, maybe when we started job, right, we're thinking about it's like one-time thing forever until I get retired. But nowadays, on average, people switch jobs either out of their own choice or maybe not, maybe on average a few years. So definitely the circle is becoming shorter. So sometimes, it's not always we're doing the same thing all the time. Sometimes we want to switch. Sometimes we feel like, oh, I want to try something new. I get some training. I want to switch to another channel. But this could be, sometimes you feel like it's so hard for me, right, to convey who I am professionally. And it's so hard for me to even answer, for example, interview question when they ask you, tell me something about yourself. Sometimes people with versatile background, they feel it's so challenging because I don't have a consistent message. So by doing that, before you think about how do I build an online presence, a strong presence with a strong LinkedIn profile, I would say, sit down, take some time, ask yourself, who am I professionally? And who, what type of person professional I want to be? And what are my maybe transferable skills? Sometimes it might be difficult to answer those questions. You can even ask around, right? Ask people, tell me when I work with you, right? When do you feel like you want to reach out to me for certain things? And what am I known for, right? So collecting some keywords. So those are the parts other than hard skills, right? Maybe I'm strong in data analysis, or maybe I'm strong in financial planning. But we talk about a special career transition. You want to find something in common to kind of bridge the gaps from maybe channel A to channel B. But I would say usually when we think about, oh, maybe I was in IT, not in finance, it's like such a split. But actually, as a human being, we are quite consistent in our strength, in our core value. Sometimes when you feel like I want to do something new, maybe the thing is new, but actually behind that, the values that you feel like I'm confident, I'm so enjoying doing certain things, that reflects your transferable skills. So for example, when you ask around and also ask yourself, right, some keywords regarding who you are, maybe you feel like I'm really a people person. I really enjoy coaching, even though when I did the IT stuff, I trained my new employee at the time. And then now, for example, I'm thinking about becoming HR professional, then this could be definitely something matching the gap, even though maybe the job are totally different, right? IT, HR. but you find something common behind that. So you always find something as a core value to think about who I want to be in the future. And this is also something I often say that online presence and also LinkedIn profile, if it's part of online presence, right? It's kind of most important channel. You want to ask yourself who I really want to be in the future. And think about, for example, when I build my LinkedIn profile, we want to be honest, but we also want to be future focused. So for example, think about the transferable skills you have, and then think about some keywords over there. If you're an IT professional, but you really have great leadership skills, you can put, for example, over here, LinkedIn will allow you, I want to show you a little bit over here. When you try to build your profile, this part, this kind of a tagline, this is something, if you don't put anything over there, LinkedIn will default, by default, only put your title and your company, and which, is okay, but it's not the best way to promote your online presence. So you want to think about some keywords over there, who you are and who you want to be. So show the transferable skills as a keywords, as your kind of strength to show people over there. And it's not one-time thing. For example, you might feel like, oh, I'm kind of growing, I'm learning. So the profile is actually evolving. So you can always update, really focusing on certain things you want to focus in the future. And think about something common behind those versatile job titles. Job title cannot define a person. Your core skills, the core value can define you, essentially. So hopefully that answers part of the questions.
That was really helpful. Thank you. If anybody has any follow-up questions on that, please go ahead and speak up or write in the chat. We're getting lots of questions in the chat. I did have a follow-up question with regards to, so where you have your name. So for example, I've been seeing that and you're doing that, and I've noticed that with others as well, is optimizing that section, not even just the headline section. And now there's that hashtag section where you say talk about, and you talk about specific areas of expertise, but even in your name section where you explain where you include your credential.
Yeah.
How important is it to use really every section, just that top section, so where you write out your name, the headline, and the hashtag talks about section?
Yeah.
Like, does it really matter, or is it just like a nice to have kind of thing?
I would say it's nice to have, but it matters as well at the same time. The reason why is, for example, when we're hiring people, right? For example, I'll just use this to show you. For example, if I'm hiring writer, for example, let's do this. So, and then when people search, and also LinkedIn has different platforms. When we are using as a user, kind of members, this is the platform, but also LinkedIn has the platform for HR, for marketing, for sales, different platforms. So for hiring managers, if they're using recruiter platform, when they search, it will even show, more details over there. So for example, if they're interested in searching, talents as writer, they will search like people and then narrow down by location. So what we do is, for example, let's just put Canada and US, for example. So they can always narrow down even by city. So as you can see, right, the first thing you will see is definitely the name, the picture, and then also this this tagline. So imagine that if someone have a strong one, for example, if they have title, have this tagline, very attractive, very eye-catching, then you probably want to reach out the person, right, compared to other profiles. So I'll use mine as example. As over here. So you want to have a strong headline, also the title over there. So when people search you, and of course you want to make it relevant, because anytime if we're really focusing on the detail, like what information to put, what kind of words we're using, think about this ideal professional goal over there. Always ask yourself who I want to be professionally, right? Eventually who I want to be the go-to person in this field. Then make it relevant to your goal. So I would always discover your goal, discover your focus first, so you can arrange those kind of step-by-step action plan around that. You don't want to have like split action plans if you don't have a consistent goal. So if you're interested, for example, if you're a project manager, then if you have PMP, right? PMP, MBA, and you are looking for something, or you are trying to show people I'm the expert in this field, and I want to be, senior manager in project management, then definitely you want to put your PMP, MBA after your name. And then I want to show the tips. Some people ask me, how do you do that? So I know over here, last name, usually people only put the last name over here. But if you want, for example, if you do have PMP, MBA, you want to show people which is relevant to your career goal, then you can just add those titles after your last name, which is doable. So after that, you will be able to see, you have the title after your name. And then also over here, the headline. LinkedIn actually increased the space for this. I remember maybe 1 or 2 years ago, they only allowed maybe 100 kind of letters allowed over there. But now they allow you to put as much as possible because they know it's very important. If LinkedIn knows it's very important, I think it's better for us to know it's important too.
Absolutely.
So yeah, so definitely you want to use this. So when people search, they won't be able to go to your profile to see more if they don't have interest. And how to attract people's interest? This is definitely, the picture, right? You want to show the professional picture because this is a professional network. You're not, using maybe some very funny picture, right? Because you're trying to build your consistent professional image. And then definitely the name, the title, and also the headline, the tagline over there. So people want to click, they want to see, right? Yeah.
Thank you so much. As you're talking about the pieces of info to include, I have a question on the about section. Such a good one because I see this all the time. Some people decide to include an elaborate about section, while others have, very minimal details or even nothing for the about section, and they, seem to have really grown professionally and don't really need, it seems like they don't really need that about section to showcase their brand. What is your take on the about section? Is there a standard format that we should be following?
I won't say there's a standard format, but you also want to think about, because it's your brand, right? This is kind of your marketing project. I would say LinkedIn definitely provides it's kind of a free website for yourself. And it's better than, just one-page resume, because for resume, we often, we only have 1 or 2 pages top, right? You don't want to send, like 3 or 4 pages resume over there. So you have to limit your information on resume. But then over here, there's someone's kind of putting some annotates over there. Can we remove that? Let me see. Yeah, let me see. Okay, all right. Yeah, I know, it's because the screen, you can put something over there. So if you want to put something over there, let us know. If you have questions regarding specific section, you can let us know, we'll go there.
Okay.
Yeah, no worry. So back to our question, I would say there's no standard section, but also LinkedIn actually give you more space for this. They used to allow people to put certain words over there. So even though you want to make it fancy, right, like lots of words over there, it won't allow you. But now they're expanding. They're giving more space because they know, people want to showcase, right, to showcase themselves. So for format, doesn't really matter, but you do want to have this section as part of, kind of who you are. Again, it's the message, it's the branding strategy you want to show people. So, and also you want to think about if you're the one who are actually reviewing this person's profile, and everyone's so busy, right? Because everyone, everything is virtual. We are reviewing lots of things every day, the news, right? Facebook, everything. So with a limited time, what kind of informational format you feel like, oh, this is great. When I review that, I really want to have a conversation or maybe reach out to the person. So think about from the other way side, right? Imagine if you are searching someone, if you are reviewing certain one's profile. So you can definitely borrow the idea from your resume, because on the resume, we'll talk about who you are, we'll talk about, the key skill sets we have. But then over here, you can definitely make it as a more comprehensive one. So anything regarding maybe your past experience or future experience, you feel like those accomplishments can definitely add more bonus points to me, for the profile. And LinkedIn definitely provides a platform for you to showcase your 360 degree, right? Everything about yourself. Then you can use that as guidelines to think about your format. But regardless of format, think about, the kind of maybe the simplicity, because you don't want to write a long novel, right? People are reading line by line. It's kind of a short story. Sometimes, short story is great too, but you want to think about how long you really want it to be, and then what's the core message you're sending. And for me, I'm being a little bit lazy, so I'm using kind of those keywords over there to showcase, who I am, what kind of specialty I have. So people, when they review that in 1 second, they know, who I am professionally. And then I list maybe a few accomplishments, and ideally, quantify that. Because we're always talking about try to quantify accomplishments. It's like when we are watching news, right? If they're saying, something so serious, we feel, oh yeah, serious, so what? But if they're giving you a number like, 80% people, are involved in this, and then, with the survey, blah, 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 you feel like, oh my gosh, like it's so serious, right? So people are attracted to numbers. Think about anything that could quantify your accomplishments. Pick the most important one to put under the summary part. And if you want, and sometimes depending in the industry and depending professionally who you are, for example, maybe you have your own business, or maybe you are in design industry, then you probably want to make the format more creative, right? Maybe more kind of out of box thinking. For designers, sometimes you can even put something, a short story, like very funny, but really attracting people. You're like, oh, this person's so creative. I really love, the person's writing an idea. And then also for business, maybe you have your own small business. You want people to reach out to you. You can even put maybe at the bottom, say, reach out to me through my business email. You can put your email address. You can even put your other contact information if you want. Because otherwise, before connecting, although we are able to see the first and second degree connection, we won't be able to see the person's email or contact information all the time. Because some people set the privacy setting. They don't want people, if without knowing me, to know that. But then if you put information over there, it will be very easy for other people to reach out to you if you want people to reach out to you proactively. Yeah, so the format will say it doesn't matter, but the message and then how you want to present who you are around that idea, professional idea, does matter.
Thank you. You're getting so many great comments. People are enjoying looking at your profile and seeing the way you showcase your about section and yourself.
Thank you, Emily.
Nice. Thank you. Question on when it comes to looking at showcasing yourself when you have multiple career interests or you do have multiple roles. You have your own business, but you're working for a company or an organization. What is your take on how do you build a more consistent and compelling online presence?
Yeah, that's a super great question, because actually many of my own friends, clients, they ask me all the time as well. Some of them, they might feel like, I just started my career. I'm not sure, who I am professionally in the future, 10 years, 5 years. People often say that, tell me, your career going 5 years, 10 years. Mm-hmm. It's good to have that. But sometimes you might feel like I'm still discovering. I might want to do accounting, but I'm also interested in education, right? It's like totally two different things. So I would say still the first step, you really want to think about who you are professionally and who you want to be, even though maybe it's vague, but you always want to try to figure out maybe the core value, the strength. So still going back to the essential foundation, because for the foundation, it's the same soil, right? Maybe you can plant the rose, maybe you can plant the trees, different plants, but the soil is something, it's very important, it's the foundation. So you want to think about for your own talent soil, what are those essential elements over there? What are those things you feel like, when I do this, no matter I'm doing maybe for IT, accounting, education, I enjoy that. Maybe that's a part you have a great communication skills. Maybe you have great personal, interpersonal skills, or maybe presentation, or maybe data analysis. So you want to use that as kind of the guiding light, right, ahead of you. So to build a consistent message around that, regardless what position, the title you have, or maybe you will have. But meanwhile, I would say sometimes it could be challenging because, for example, as you mentioned, maybe I have small business, for designing, but then I'm doing the financial analysis, which is totally different. So one thing what you can do is under LinkedIn experience, you can definitely put different experience under your profile. And then sometimes it can be, for example, at the same time, For example, I've been the executive partner with a company for almost 10 years. It's still ongoing. And then you can still have, this ongoing thing going on over there. So if you're having your own designing industry, designing business, you can add, for example, self-employed, or maybe designing, for example, you have a small company. You can put your company over there as part of your experience over there. And also LinkedIn will allow you to build up the free company page. So you can actually build a company page, connect with your LinkedIn profile. So for example, if you're thinking, I really want to promote both, myself as a professional financial analysis expertise, and also I want to promote my own designing company, then you can do this, focusing on your professional background, the expertise, maybe on your personal, this web page. And then for the designing part, you can add more information on your company page, and which is free. The basic one is definitely free. It won't charge you anything else. You can put something over there on your company page, and these can be connected because the profile of the company, yourself, it can be connected. So when you're promoting, it's kind of cross promotion over there too. And some people ask me, can I maybe just have 2 separate profiles or maybe multiple? That is something I won't recommend. Because on LinkedIn, they encourage people to have authentic, honest, real, like one-on-one, right? It's me, it's just always me. So they don't really encourage people to have multiple profiles. I don't know if it's going to change in the future, but for now, this is something they don't really recommend people to do so. So if sometimes, if you have multiple profiles, they might, will remind you have multiple profiles. Do you want to maybe consolidate into one? So, and also it will be very hard for you to expand your networks. So back over here, as you can see, we have the connections number over here. For example, like under me, I have more than 3,000 connections. But then some people, they might have less connection. But the goal is you are trying to increase the networking, the numbers over there. The more people you know, the more visible your profile will be. And we can talk about with more details why the number matters and why do we need to expand numbers in the in the relevant network. So by saying that, if you have multiple profiles, that means if you're trying to increase, for example, 500 connections over here, you need to do the same thing again for your another profile, right? You have to reach out to 1,000 people if that's the case. If you have 3 profiles, you have to add like 1,500, even though maybe they're shared connection. So it'll be very difficult for you to really build a consistent brand and expand your network in an effective way. And not to say that's not something LinkedIn really recommends people to do so. So by saying that, hopefully I answered the question. For one, try to think about the foundation that you can build based on the keywords over there, no matter the job title, no matter what you have done in the past. And for 2, if you have side business, you can definitely promote through the content page and adding under your LinkedIn profile as well. That could be a creative solution when you have 2 profiles as well.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. I would think 2 profiles would also be kind of confusing for people in your different networks and not knowing how to associate you. But do you think it looks bad, just as a follow-up, when you have your own business and you're job seeking, or you're in a role in something maybe similar or something even completely different? Do you find that looks confusing on your profile, or it could it be seen as, oh, this person is in that company for now, but they're going to leave because they have their own business, or it could be a good thing?
Depending on the situation. So I would say, for example, if you're really focusing on job searching, for example, then a few things you can do. For example, we have some feature over there you can turn on, right? Open to work, you can choose this and that. So when you provide the information over there, people, especially people when they're using recruiter platform, LinkedIn Recruiter, they will see that. They will know, okay, great, you're interested in those areas. And then for 2, if you have different kind of titles in the past, and then maybe you are with another company as a consultant, or maybe you have your side business, then you want to ask yourself, will that really kind of impact my job searching, right? Because when people review that, they might have questions. Or maybe, can I really turn that into advantage? Because sometimes, for example, you can show people you have this versatile background. You have this talents, not just in, for example, accounting, but you can always also do something, for example, maybe marketing sales. That could be something that's kind of add on. So you want to ask yourself, will that really matter? And I would say most time, if you have a side business and then if you're showing over there, some company, because I can't speak for all the company, some company, they might have concern, but some company might feel like, if it's not really impacting your working with us, which is totally fine. And also when you're searching job, for example, some people feel like I have a gap, I probably used to work for a company for many years and then stopped working for them maybe 2 years ago. Then during the 2 years, I'm actually doing my own business, which actually could be beneficial under certain circumstances. For example, maybe if you don't put anything over there, it's like 2 years blank, right? The gap over there. And then people ask, so since your last job after 2 years, like 2 years ago, what have you been doing? It will be very difficult for you to tell them, like, I've been doing the job searching for 2 years, right? You don't want to just say that. You can definitely show people, what? I took the time. I really enjoy my professional growth and I have my passion, expertise in this field. Make it relevant, make it future focused. And then talking about what I've been doing, even though maybe that's project-based, self-employed, or maybe some volunteer job, that's totally fine too. For example, I even put, I often say that volunteer could be very important too, as long as it's relevant to your core skills or core strength in the future. So putting something over there, showing people, you've been doing something, you've been working on some projects, or maybe your side business, like self-employed, project-based, but you're really using your strengths, your skills to continue growing. I think that's part of the contribution when you make to your own personal brand. That's kind of communication strategy as well. So you can show people, I'm not just sitting watching Netflix. I'm not just searching jobs with nothing. I'm actually doing something which can contribute my future career growth. So I often say that no matter what activity you want to put it over there, no matter what kind of things you want to put it over there, ask yourself, does that reflect my unique strength professionally? And does that really showcase my strength in the future, where I want to be, really making the bridge over there? That's most important part. Yeah.
I love that. Thank you so much. Such a great response to how to, merge different roles that you have and still be the entrepreneur that you want to be or that you are while working in an organization. I want to talk about networking and, just kind of the right approach to networking, especially for those who are more shy and feel uncomfortable with saying, hey, I'm looking for my next opportunity. Can you think of me? Some people just assume that you are in a position and you're good there and you're happy where you are. And some people don't feel necessarily comfortable to showcase that open to work banner on LinkedIn, which is also another question for you. How do you showcase your openness to work, to openness for opportunities, your eagerness, when you are either employed somewhere and you don't want it to be so open, or maybe you're not and you're just kind of feeling, you feel like you want to kind of, you feel uncomfortable with asking for help, your network?
That's such a wonderful question. You know what? Because my husband has been asking me the question all the time. He's a very shy person, but he also often tell me, you know what? If I really have the strength, if I really know how to do things, right? Why should I keep bothering people, telling them I can do this? And if I need help, I'll just figure out, right? And then just don't want to send a message to people saying that, I need a favor, like, could you do this? And could you maybe refer me to certain opportunities, blah, blah, blah.
I think that's the right person to have the best advice on this.
And you know what? Your spouse, your family member is probably the most challenging client you have, sometimes like uncoachable.
I hear you 100%.
I know. So, but I would say that's a huge misunderstanding of networking, because this is a quote I love so much. Michelle Janin, she is the author of The Connect Worker, and she's also expert in the field. I love this one so much. Remember, networking is not just asking a favor or requesting something, right? Like trying to get something from some people. And I know sometimes they feel like, oh, it's like so awkward. But actually, networking is a two-way communication. It's not just about connecting people. And remember, it's, everyone has some values, right? You have value, they have different values, and people are exchanging, sharing. It's actually the foundation of human being society. So it's about connecting people with people, people with ideas, and people with opportunities. So you're not just asking for help or maybe reach out to people for your own purpose. Maybe when you reach out to people, you're actually doing their favor. Maybe you're expert in certain field, and when you reach out to certain people in other fields, you're actually sharing your expertise. They're sharing theirs. So it's an ongoing thing. Don't think about it's overnight change. Like, oh, for example, I need a promotion, right, in the company. Now let me find who's my, the most important people, right? The VIP now company. Let me talk to the C-level, like right away. Or maybe I'm searching a job and I feel like, oh, let me ask my friends, even though maybe we haven't contact for 10 years, let me ask him or her, do you have something like I want to get a job? That's not the networking. Networking is something ongoing. And then you are sharing your resource, sharing your expertise with people. So eventually, things will, come naturally. So I know networking is so important. And sometimes it's difficult for people, especially, if you're an introvert, right? You're not like a people person, not saying people person, like you're not really outgoing, like really want to going out, reach out to people. Then I would say actually this is the best age ever because everything's virtual. You don't really need to see people having coffee with them. You can actually do everything in silence right? At the very beginning through the online channel. Because I know many people feel like, I don't feel comfortable talking with person, especially if I'm not really familiar with that person, right? How do I reach out to the person? And then what if they reject? If I send message, even online, right? I feel the virtual rejection. I hate that. And it's totally natural. And remember, just like even if people reach out to you, right? Maybe you're busy, maybe you overlook the message, or maybe you just feel like, I'm not sure. You can reject people too, right? So it's always the two-way communication thing. So think about, we know it's important, but then how? So definitely you want to reach out to people, you want to build your online presence, be active. So when you're trying to connect with people, we do have different tiers of networking, right? For example, online, even online, you can reach out to your family member or maybe their friends, right? Your former colleagues, people you know, you can connect them on LinkedIn or maybe on other social media. And that's the first tier, or probably the most comfort and convenience zone for you. So you can start from there. And I know sometimes maybe we work together, but we don't really connect online. But I would say for maybe from now on, trying to add people, connect those people, the first tier, people that you know, or people you might have communication before, right? In real life, adding them, because that's something, you have something in common already. So when you reach out to people you already know, you can mention, when you send message, I want to show you on LinkedIn. So for example, if you're going to send a message to someone, you want to add a personalized message. Don't just send, connect and then send. You always want to send, let me see if I can find someone, for example, if you want to connect, always add a note. So you want to type something over there, right? Telling people why I want to connect with you. If this is a person you know already, that's simple, easy, right? You can say, oh, so glad we used to work for, ABC company, or we used to attend the same webinar, right? For example, like today, you can say, oh, I happen to, see that we are attending the same webinar. That's so good. And also I'm in Montreal, for example, and actually I'm in Calgary. Doesn't matter. So mention something common, adding your kind of part of information so people feel like, oh, that's something, interesting. That's people I want to be connected. And then the second tier, maybe, you're expanding your network to someone that you don't know. Then you want to, first of all, ask yourself, why do I want to connect with this person? You definitely have a reason. And that's a great reason for you to share with people too. Even though maybe the reason is because he or she is a hiring manager, I want to get a job with a company. But when you send a message, don't put that simple message, say, oh, I see that you're hiring and I want to apply for this job. You want to think about what kind of value can I bring to that person? So for example, first of all, after you send a message, basically the person will review, first of all, your message, second of all, your profile. So work on your profile first, that's a foundation. Second of all, on the message, you want to address something in common. So maybe when you review the profile, you guys are both in marketing, right? Retail marketing for so many years. then you can mention in the message. So glad to see we were both, in retail marketing, and I'm expanding my professional network right now, and hopefully to be connected. Because the first step is trying to get connected, and then you can send a follow-up message, more information, even though you're searching for a job. So networking is a long-term relation growth. And then the other thing is back to our deck. A few things you can try is, for example, company and school alumni is definitely a great way to do so. For example, if we use McGill as example, because as I mentioned, right, almost all the company, including university, governments, they have their profile on LinkedIn and they're very active. So go to their official account, click alumni, and sometimes you can even search jobs, post everything over there. And then you can even search, for example, I'm interested in maybe, not just title. For example, I'm interested in technology. I'm interested in certain company. Search by title, keyword, or company. That's how you really expand your network to someone that you really want to connect with. You don't want to just connect with anyone to just get the number, because LinkedIn often say that 500 connections is kind of magic number. The reason why is they will allow you to see the profile, I think within 3-degree connection. For example, if you and I were connected, that's 1st degree. So your profile will be visible and searchable by my connection, even though they're not connected with you. So LinkedIn has this kind of semi-closed network, this kind of social media network, not similar to other social media platforms. So certain platforms, they're open to everyone. Like you're able to see everyone over there. But LinkedIn encourage people to expand the networking based on a good reason. So your profile will be very limited to certain people if you only have 5-10 people. And imagine if your profile is searchable and visible within the 2-degree connection or 3, then your profile is only, for example, maybe 5 connections, their friends and their connections. That's it. Beyond that, your profile, no matter how wonderful it is, like how amazing it is, people beyond that circle won't be able to see your profile, even though they're searching. So you want to add people in the field that you have interest, not just getting the number, but getting the number to make it relevant. So anything, for example, if you're like, I'm interested in Apple, right? Or I'm interested in Amazon, or I'm interested in maybe just HR, I don't know which company, then put the keywords over there, and then you can connect those people. And remember, those are the people who are your alumni, right? Even though you guys don't know each other at all, maybe they graduate maybe 10 years, before you. But when you send a message, you can say something like, "Hi from McGill alumni," for example, right? Or "Hi from other university alumni." So this will also build something common to help increase the chance of getting connected. Even though you are maybe introvert, you are not really outgoing, but 1 or 2 message sending to people, showing them you want to expand your professional network, that's totally fine. You're not really requesting anything. You're not really begging anyone to help you to do anything. And then the other way, similar thing, you can try, let's see if I can go back. Oh, it's kind of
I love that you're showing us this feature. It's
Let me-
amazing what you can
Yeah.
discover with it. Yeah.
Thank you. And also, for example, if we go to, I don't know. So company, same thing. For example, if you work for a big company, for example, let's say Amazon, and then you go to alumni, they also have this people. It's not alumni, but you know this. So for example, if you used to work for a big company, and they have great, the network, right? People work over there, and you can search the keywords over there and see your alumni over there, and then what they're doing. So you're expanding your network, again, highly relevant to your career goal, right? To what you want to be in the future, who you want to be in the future. But also you are really making the connection based on something common. And the worst scenario, if you feel like, what, I'm a fresh graduate from maybe a small college, we don't have lots of alumni, and I never work, I don't work for a big company, my internship may be a small firm, so it's very limited. Then what you can do is search under groups. So for example, if you're interested in finance, you can search the keywords and adding the groups, filter under groups. This will help you to find those virtual groups over there. And you definitely want to pick, the one with more members, right? So request joining them and pick a few over there. And then you will be able to connect with more people with same interest. And then when you're connecting with those people, you can say, so good to see we're in the same group. So there are different ways. Yeah, different ways for, even like you don't want to talk, right? We can definitely use different channels.
Sorry, I didn't want to, you had mentioned going to smaller groups.
Yeah.
Sorry,
what?
You had mentioned going to smaller groups as opposed to the bigger ones. And
actually big groups. Okay. Actually bigger groups. So you will be able to be exposed to more people. But I would say also not just number, also maybe, the information, right? The key values, the key topics they're talking about does matter. Because if you join a big group, they don't really talk, they're very inactive. It's not something you want to join. You want to join. So what you can do is you can request joining quite a few groups, and then you can maybe select, and you can even withdraw, if you go, oh, this is not a group, I really feel it's inactive. But remember, active, inactive, everyone makes contribution. So after you join the group, you want to present. It's part of the online presence. You want to show people you are the expert, and you want to become the expert. For example, maybe MA, right? You can talk about acquisition, right? Merging, sharing information. Similar thing over here. When we talk about the activity, not just have a strong profile and it's like a static, no activities. You always want to be active, showing all those information over there. And also, you can even put the feature over there. And there's one new feature which just recently launched. It's called Creator Mode. I love it so much because I know many people are trying to become active. They comment on people's the post, reshare. So every time they feel like, if I say thank you, right, appreciate that, they will show under my activity. And it's not really kind of marketing message, online person relevant. I want to show people my activity, really focusing on my professional activity. Maybe I'm sharing an article talking about data analysis. I'm using the hashtag, right, data analysis. I'm sharing. That's the thing I want to show people. And those comments like, oh, thank you, right, congratulations, maybe not with a high priority, show under your profile. Then you want to turn this on. So this LinkedIn will.
I didn't know about that.
Yeah, that's something new.
Yeah. We have a question.
Sure.
I see a hand up, and we have tons of questions, and people are loving all the tips that you're sharing. You've got great comments in the chat.
Yeah.
Okay, if I can go ahead.
Go for it.
Yeah, you just showed that thing about the activity. I didn't realize it was new. I used to back check myself to see what did I do, but other people can see what I've done. That's my first question. And the second is it true that the more active you are, the higher you appear, or the more often you appear in the logarithm searches? Is that what keeps you active?
Yeah, that's a good question. So for one, I would say if we go back over here, when you're thinking about, if I, check the activity, I would say definitely create it on this mode. When you turn on, then you will see that, they will list all those information, especially, with the hashtag, everything relevant to your career professional background will show up over there. So reduce, this kind of thank you part. Unless it's like very important, maybe that's a post, for example, it's regarding, for example, the event today, and you reshare, repost, they will show over here. But if you just comment under someone's post, say congratulations, it will reduce the chance, showing under there, which is not relevant to your professional online presence. Well, not that relevant. And the other thing is about the algorithm. I can't speak for LinkedIn, their engineers, but I would say based on my using, hiring experience through LinkedIn as well, definitely the hashtag and also the article you're sharing definitely impact the results, not just the visibility of your profile. Because when you're using, for example, when I'm talking about, for example, our public library over here, they are connecting, they are really working with LinkedIn Learning, providing free services if you have the library membership card, which is free. So which is great. I share and I use all those hashtags. Then LinkedIn will know, oh, great, you're actually interested in those areas. So based on what I see over here, the more you do and the more information you're sharing, for one, when people search the similar topic over there, your article will be able, or your post will be able to pop up, on a higher rank over there. And for two, the nice is not just letting people to know you, and also if you go to, let me see over here, if you go to homepage, you'll be able to see this one, LinkedIn News. And I noticed that actually LinkedIn News is different from other channels. Other channels, maybe they have the LinkedIn News, it's like so consistent. Sometimes, it's not really personalized. But then over here, I noticed that the more information, or sometimes you comment one article, like, comment, or you're reposting using hashtag. LinkedIn probably, I feel like they're quite smartly, right? Know your interest. And then over here, they will generate the information based on your interest. So this can help you easily sometimes become the known expert. Because when you're reading those information, right, those are something, for example, they're talking about the job interview, for example, they have the editing team. The editor will pick something that's kind of a hot topic and over here, and then you can review, you can reshare, you can post. So the more activity you're having on LinkedIn, it definitely impacts not just your visibility, but also you're receiving information from them. And also sometimes they will tell you, this is top course, because LinkedIn Learning has some courses. Sometimes they provide free course as well. Will tell you this is something maybe you're interested. They also will show you who you know and who you might know. I'll show you, for example, this will definitely show people also view this, from similar backgrounds like you, or people you may know, based on your searching, based on profile. So by doing that, you're like, it's very helpful, and it's easy for you to expand your network, to build online presence. And also this impact the job searching. I know like LinkedIn provides all those kind of features all together. The more you do, for example, if you're searching, let me just say advisor, and then this is not just only based on the title. Sometimes when you search, I'll go back and show you, they will tell you, they will generate the results based on your searching history and profile and activity. So by saying that, I know there's one slide I want to talk about how to search creatively. So how to approach the job opportunities or hire a manager as a job seeker. So since you mentioned this, I'll just show you really quick.
And Kaitlyn, on that note, sorry, just before, if you can answer now or just a little after about the
we can answer
searching. And when you're searching the open to work banner, I know that some people are totally for, against it. How do you feel about that?
There are two options you can choose. So don't worry too much about, I know. For example, over here.
Similar to the open to hiring?
Yes, over here. There are two options. For one, if you open to all, then you will see this green frame. And some people, different opinions. Some people feel like, I don't want to show everyone I'm like looking for a job. I don't want to look so kind of desperate. Some people feel in that way. But some people feel like it could be convenient, because when hiring manager, they're searching, or maybe when they review a profile, if they see this, they will know, oh, great. So if we're really needing people, urgently, then this person can join us right away. So which might be beneficial, actually. So if you're not quite sure, because sometimes you can do the test. If you're not quite sure, I would say you can start from this recruiters only. Because most companies, if they're hiring people, right, they are using LinkedIn recruiters. Then if they're using that, if you click this, then for other people, right, for us, when we see your profile, we won't see this green framework and saying that photo frame, saying that you're looking for a job, open to job. But the recruiters, hiring manager, if they're using LinkedIn recruiters, they will be able to see that. So you can protect your own privacy, but still open to the market. And then sometimes you feel like, oh, maybe I can try the open to all to see the difference. They can choose that. So it's like really case by case. Some people really, they don't mind. I really want to show people I'm so open, I'm so ready. And sometimes, to be honest, it could be beneficial. I remember when I search candidates on LinkedIn, if it's urgent role, I really need people as soon as possible, I will definitely give the priority to those people open to job, because I know if we are really good match, they can join us, immediately.
Oh, very good to know. That's fantastic. Yeah, that's really, really good to know. Sorry, I didn't want to interrupt. I know you wanted to share some tips, creative ways to job search.
Yeah, regarding the job search over here, if we back to the previous question the lady asked, as I mentioned, when you're active on LinkedIn, using hashtag, comment, everything, this does not only kind of impact the algorithm regarding who you are professionally, but also impact algorithm, I would say probably because I'm not working for the LinkedIn engineers, but I know they will show you, they will say, you know, based on your history, based on your profile history, based on your activities, searching activities, they will kind of generate the job leads based on your kind of profile. So one thing is the job leads when you search, it's not just by title. And for two, it can be quite personalized compared to, you know, maybe the old-fashioned traditional online posting, right? Because that's kind of one standard thing over there. And the other thing is, for example, if you're looking for a company, then what you can do is, as again, if we use Amazon, right? We are interested in working for Amazon, then you can definitely go over there. You can even search under Amazon and under people. You can try to search by title, you know, maybe talent acquisition, or maybe, you know, the reporting manager, or sometimes the company will tell you, you will report to so and so, right? Then you can definitely do the research before you submit application, before you really kind of prepare an interview. At least you know who you will be reporting to, who will be the person having this kind of initial conversation with you. And not to say, even for career growth, if you want to grow your career, then you want to be connected with those people as expert in the field. So you are also growing to be expert as well. And sometimes on LinkedIn, the job searching, when you search, sometimes a company will also show you the hiring manager. For example, this could be, let me see, this could be difficult to guess, but sometimes, for example, if we say marketing manager, right? And then over here, you can always narrow down by remote, different level, and the different job type. You can always narrow down. Sometimes some company will show you who is the one posting this job. Let me see if I can find someone over here. But you will be able to see that. Many companies are doing that because they want people to reach out to hiring manager or recruiter directly. So,
I've noticed that sometimes you see their name.
Yeah, for example, yeah, like this person.
Just not there, yeah.
Yeah, so for example, this company, you know, they're showing this is a person they're hiring. So feel free, again, now you can, because those are people who want to hire someone. Then when you send message, don't feel like I need to go around the bush, or I need to kind of pretend something else. You can let them know, you know, I'm the professional in this field. I see you're posting. I think I have a strong profile. Let's connect it. We can have a conversation. You can be like really honest, straightforward, but making sure, again, before reaching out to them, check your profile. Is it really aligned with this position, or at least, you know, this kind of goal over there? Yeah, so the few things, you know, you can definitely do regarding the job searching creative strategy over there.
Thank you so much. And with regards to checking your profile, what happens when what's the best way to position yourself when you're in between opportunities? What do you indicate as your current position?
So you're saying, let's go back. So for example, if you're searching the job, but you're still with the company, is there a question? Or maybe you have left the company?
Well, you're no longer there, whether for whatever reason that may be. What do you put as your current position? You're not currently in a company and you're job seeking.
Yeah, that's a good question. So for example, if you just recently left the previous role, and which is totally fine, you know, you still want to be honest. If you're not with a company no more, you don't want to put it over there. But one thing is, I know for LinkedIn, there's one thing they are very human centric, I would say. Sometimes you feel like, I'm not sure if I want to put the month, or maybe I don't remember, or maybe I just don't want to put the month. Then you can definitely put the year over there to kind of generally, you know, show how many years you've been with the company. And then if it's not something ongoing, you don't want to put present because that could be confusing, and also it's part of the integrity. I would say marketing, right, sales, branding, everything, you can definitely do the promotion. You can definitely show people, you know, your strength, but you always want to build that on a honest foundation. So if you just left the company not too long ago, and that's totally fine, you know, don't worry too much. Everyone has some gaps. Even for hiring manager, they understand that. as long as when they ask you, sometimes they will ask you, so what have you been doing in the past few months? You probably want to think about this question, right? What do I really do? What am I doing? You want to focus on, for example, maybe you're upskilling, right? Not just saying I'm searching the job, but you're saying you're preparing yourself for future career growth. So maybe you're taking some online courses, or maybe you are even doing some volunteer jobs, right? You're helping the community using your expertise, maybe in accounting, in leadership, right? You're use all those hard skills, soft skills to generate those kind of accomplishments, even though it's not a paid job, but you're doing something. Or you can say you can put something like, self-employed or maybe project-based. That's when we add experience over there. And as long as it's real, it's honest, feel free to put something, for example, even though maybe this is not your really a kind of a big company self, but if you do have, for example, self-employed project-based, you can put something like that, right? Maybe if you have a name for your own one-person company, or maybe you have something for your project-based, maybe the workshop, something like that, you can put it over there to showcase you have this kind of continued contribution professionally, not to worry too much about the gaps, especially if you have a longer time gap, for example, 1 year or 2 years. You probably want to be creative, showing people what you have been doing, even though maybe it's not a paid job, even though maybe it's not official kind of big title with Fortune 500, Fortune 100, but you want to show people what you have been doing. You can put self-project, self-employed, maybe designer, or maybe just put, project-based, right? Project-based, accounting, finance, things like that. So be creative, but be honest.
Great. And actually that aligns so much with the latest question we got from Sophia, which is, thanks so much for this, Kaitlyn. I was just wondering, what are your thoughts on LinkedIn skill badges?
Thank you. Thank you so much.
And so for LinkedIn skill badges, that might be a good what do you think about that? I feel with the answer that you gave that this is something that it should be showcased as a good way to, even especially when you are in between opportunities, this could be something really nice to have.
You mean let me see, the badge, the premium one?
The badges.
Let me see. Oh, could you maybe use the annotate?
And also, as a follow-up, the skill assessment is true. Everything with regards to the LinkedIn Learning skill assessment, certain badges that are provided.
This is super. I'm so glad you guys are talking about that, because I'm thinking I need to talk about that. So LinkedIn Learning skill assessment, those are something I'm going to show you, and I want to show you, and I'll show you right now. So it's all about, eventually you want to become the subject matter expert in your industry, right? In your professional circle. No matter, maybe you want to be professor, right? Scholarly, or you want to become, maybe the expert in finance, in IT, in marketing, and also in the digital world. The nice thing is you can often upgrade. So, and also you want to show people you're actually continue growing. So for one, you want to know the skill gaps. And also many companies, they're really focusing on upskilling, reskilling, because everything's changing so much. Maybe many years ago, 20 years ago, it's like, oh, when I have the bachelor degree, that's fine, great. I'm going to be good all the way till my 60, 70, and then I'll just cruise around the world. But now you won't be able to cruise around the world. You probably need to continue learning even after retirement. And don't worry, it's not scary. It's actually lots of fun, because you want to think about the long-term goal, right? When you do the job searching, maybe internally, promotion, or long-term, career growth, you want to think about eventually at the end of at the end of the day, who you want to be memorized by people, who you really want to make contribution, the accomplishments that maybe part of the job can really change the world in one way or two. Maybe not dramatically, but sometimes could be dramatically, right? You can make huge change, that's great. But think about that. So a few things we shared already, right? You want to, really think about who you are, and then you really want to continue growing. So back to this assessment and upskilling, let me show you a few things over here. First of all, definitely let me see over here. Over here, when you search under jobs, there are lots of things going on over there. Skill assessments. I know it's not like covering everything, but they're expanding. I think they're adding content over there. But you can definitely, for example, especially if you're in IT technology, they have lots of different assessment over there. This can be quite helpful. So, and it won't take a long time. So complete that, because for one, it can help you to really boost your online presence, your brand. And for two, you'll be able to see the gap over there. If you're like, oh, maybe, as expert, I thought I was, but maybe technology always grows. Maybe there's something I need to, kind of really learn more. So I want to maybe pick something to learn. And then there are lots of different online platforms can help you, learn, explore. So for example, LinkedIn Learning, as people mentioned, definitely a great way. But I know LinkedIn Learning, it's free if you have a premium account. But it will also provide 1 month, like a free time. You can use that as a kind of a test try. So you can try that. And sometimes, check with the local library. For example, here in Calgary, as I mentioned, our library, they are very helpful. I just noticed that last month, they provide this kind of LinkedIn Learning free access if you register as a library member, which is free. So
That's
check with,
amazing.
I know that's like awesome, right? Saving the money. And also the other thing is over here. And if you want, I can share the link over here. This is the one. They start doing that, I think, from last year. So this is something the LinkedIn initiative, together with LinkedIn Learning, Microsoft, and GitHub. So they provided kind of the popular jobs over there, which is free. So you can review that, all those classes under this big certificate issued by LinkedIn Learning and then Microsoft GitHub. All the classes under this one, it's free. So all those classes, they will include all those mini classes. And LinkedIn Learning, the nice thing is it's very practical. It's very short, very concise. So it's not like, you have to watch like 10 hours per day. Each course will be very short. Once you complete all that, you will be able to have a certificate. First, you have a certificate for each small class. And then you have the certificate for all those, if you complete all those, for example, project manager, IT administrator. So they have, let me see, up to 10, I think, around 10 classes, which is free and which provides, they have some number over there, like jobs
really
over there. Yeah. So they also have these, search, apply for job, prepare for interview. So they do kind of really, as I say, lots of innovation over there. But of course, there are many, sometimes free, sometimes not totally free, but there are lots of accessible and really reliable online learning platform. You can either, choose, from LinkedIn Learning, like this one, because over here, it's all free. No matter what, if you have premium account or not, it's free. Or you can try, for example, edx.org. That's a nonprofit initiated by Harvard University and MIT. So they invite all the top universities around the world to present lots of courses, which is more academic, but which is more in-depth, intensive. Because LinkedIn is more like, practical, job career related. Sometimes it's not kind of providing the in-depth understanding learning, but edx.org, that's the one I'll put in the chat box as well.
Thank you so much. That's so helpful. On the note of premium, edX, I love edX. Yeah, for sure. There's so many amazing courses there.
Yeah.
On the note of, you had mentioned premium, is it worth getting premium? And related to networking, how do you connect with people who have premium and you can't connect with them, or at that note?
That's a question many people ask me. So I would say, it's definitely the personal choice. For example, because LinkedIn Premium, they have different levels. They have, the entry level, and then if you're really trying to maybe boost your own business, they have that level as well. If you're really focusing on, for example, maybe your HR, you're hiring people, they have different kind of level package. But my suggestion, well, I can't say my suggestion. I would say really depending on your own needs. So for LinkedIn Learning, the premium, the most important part, I would say, to me, like personally, I feel like LinkedIn Learning is definitely the biggest benefits. And then other things like email, the message, we can use that. Sometimes you won't be able, for example, if you send message connecting people, they're not responding. If you want to try the unveil, send a message directly, you can use that. But I would say, what's the nice thing is for premium, they also have this 1 month, right? The free access. You can try, you can test. So you can try to see if I use a LinkedIn Premium, really, every day try that, using all those features, and then comparing before using that. If there's a huge difference for you, if you really feel, I really feel like this month, people reach out to me more, and I reach out people. When I reach out to them, they respond like more often. Then you can choose continue using that, and you feel like, oh, I'm a really kind of the LinkedIn Learning deep user, right? I really want to use that every day. Then continue using that. But if you feel there's no such a huge difference to me for myself, then you can stop that anytime you want. So I would say it's the personal choice, but you can definitely try because they provide a 1 month free trial, which is nice. Try that and you will see.
Thank you. I want to switch. There's so many questions. I feel we can literally spend hours with you. I cannot believe we're already at the end of this session. I'd love to maybe ask you just 1 or 2 more questions. This one is on career growth and how do you showcase, you want to make that jump from director to C-level position, or on that note, just making the jump from wherever you are to the next level position, more of a managerial or more responsibility. How do you showcase that? How do you best showcase that on your profile?
Yeah, that's a perfect question because I do have senior executive clients. Sometimes they feel like there's a barrier, even though for them they have maybe 10 years, 20 years experience working. They feel like, how do I really showcase I'm ready for C-level, right? Even board member. So what you want to do, especially on LinkedIn, you can use the LinkedIn as your own executive profile, executive bio to some degree. But you want to think about, especially for those mid-level, senior level professional, LinkedIn profile is more important to showcase your future aspiration, your future kind of goal over there. So, because you've been, working so many years, maybe director, even VP, senior manager already. So you definitely have strong leadership skills. You want to showcase, for example, think about, right, leadership, definitely. And also sometimes that's a popular word. We often talk about thought leadership. People want to see, we have thought leadership. And also there's another word, very popular, executive presence, right? Even though maybe you're not executive yet, but you are showing people I'm ready. I do have executive presence to my next level. So you can use that kind of keywords. Think about how you brand yourself to show people you are ready, right? To be the senior level, senior manager, or maybe C-level over there. And then the other thing is under summary parts, also under experience. You want to think about how to reframe, really brand your experience to really reframe that to make it relevant to your preparation or your being ready for the C-level position. So for example, as a senior manager, you definitely have a strong leadership skills. You want to mention that. And also you probably work with board members C-level already. Then you want to mention the keywords, right? How you really collaborate and propose maybe your ideas regarding the business strategy, having a brainstorming meeting with C-level, right? Or maybe even initiate certain projects, discussing with board member. So really showing that you're preparing yourself, ready for the next role. So the other way you can do is also check the jobs, check, for example, you're interested in CSO, CMO, or CIO. Check the job description line by line, really highlight the keywords over there. What's those companies, especially the big company, they're looking for? Then you want to ask yourself, each line, do I really match? What's the gap? Can I show people I'm actually ready? And then you want to reframe the message over there. And then the other thing is under summary, definitely you want to show people you are actually ready for that role. And the other way, all those features, for example, maybe you're attending certain EMBA or maybe executive training, program development, leadership development program, show over there. And all the articles think about, for C-level, they are thinking about business strategy. They're really thinking about the big picture, right? The long-term company growth. So you want to showcase your expertise in this industry, not just what I can do for my current role, but my understanding about the future of the industry, of the business, and using the hashtag, so every activity you want to build around your future goal and really reframe to match the gaps over there. And then if you're taking any classes, because LinkedIn will also allow you to put classes, activities, and also recommendation. I would say definitely ask, someone to recommend you if, you work with certain senior manager C-level. If they can recommend you, that's great. Even for junior or maybe mid-level professional, that's also very helpful. And then any courses, maybe organizations you're with, adding over there as well. And then maybe you're being the volunteer board member with several nonprofits or maybe government sectors or maybe companies, even though it's unpaid job, but it definitely shows your executive presence, leadership, board member experience, putting it over there as well. That could be really helpful when you're trying to show people I'm so ready for my next role up, because nobody can become the C-level, right? Like everyone, every C-level, they become C-level always for the first time, right? No one can become C-level because I was C-level, right? It's always the first time, and then you can continue growing. So showing them the preparation, and then this can definitely be very helpful.
Thank you so much, Kaitlyn. I cannot believe how an hour and a half just flew by. This has been such an informative, interesting session on really understanding really how to unpack the value of LinkedIn and fully understanding how to showcase your best self and and having a strong and effective online presence using LinkedIn. So thank you so much. You've been this has been really a fascinating session. The chat was also on fire, lots of questions and comments. People are saying wonderful and insightful webinar. It was an amazing session. Would love to keep on going. Thank you so much for the workshop. So much insight and helpful details. It's been just wow. We appreciate you so much. Thank you so much for leading this this amazing session, and you are filled with so many tips, valuable advice. Like that is actually how you are online, but this is actually how you actually are in real life, and I really appreciate that, and I want to highlight that. Thank you, Lynn.
Thank you, Emily. Thank you, everyone, because I know there are so many things going on. We can keep talking on, and then LinkedIn is evolving as well. They always have the new feature, always help you to, for example, they can even allow you to upload a video, write a short video telling people who you are. So they're really using all those multimedia channels, try to help promote you professionally. So, and for us, it's a free platform, right? We definitely want to show people, not just for job searching purpose, also for long-term career growth, because the more expertise you're showing online, then the more opportunities, right? Networking, people with people with information, people with opportunities, they will come naturally. So yeah, I would say other than that, feel free to connect with me on LinkedIn if you're interested in learning more. But I know we have lots of things we can continue talking on. Maybe we can talk about that in a future session, right? If we have another one.
Oh, we'd love to, that's for sure. And in the meantime, there were tons of questions. Many people just had, want to ask you so much more. So I'm happy that we can connect with you, and your LinkedIn is on the registration page and on the Zoom page, and we'll share it again in the chat so people can connect with you directly and continue the conversation. Thank you so much, Kaitlyn. And for everyone, thank you so much for joining us. Once again, Power Skillers, thank you for joining us on Powering Up with Power Skills. Have fun, enjoy the rest of the summit, network, use these amazing tips that Kaitlyn provided. I know many of us are going to be rewatching this video, and really take the time to really showcase your skills, your value, and how to really increase your overall self-confidence as you're meeting other people and learning about how you can help others throughout your own career transition. And so thank you so much for joining us. I'm including here how you can stay connected to us and how you can register to upcoming sessions with Power Skills.
Yeah, and I want to say thank you for the amazing opportunity McGill Cats provided. So helpful, so informative. myself, I even registered a few sessions, other sessions with other keynote speakers I'll attend. I'll continue learning as well. So let's grow and learn together. Yeah. Thank you everyone
so
for
much.
joining us.
Thank you, Kaitlyn. I love how you're such a believer in continuous learning, and it's so clear. You're such a promoter of it, and you live and breathe it. Thank you so much. Thank you. Have a good rest of the day. Take care, everyone, and we'll see you at the next session.
Take care. Bye.
Take care. Thank you, Kaitlyn.